Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all ages. I am Aaron, aka the Handy Outdoor Nerd, and this sexy gentleman over here.
I'm Chris, aka MrCarrellScience. How's everybody doing tonight? Whether you're joining us live or you're joining us after the fact, welcome, welcome, welcome
to the AC Show, the cool show on YouTube. All right, so we've got a couple of things to talk about tonight. Everything's 3D printing related. So we're going to start jumping in just 1 second. I have to reply to my wife. She just texted me that our son woke up.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know it.
That's a rough time.
So he's teething real bad right now, so.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've been there. I mean, when I was a baby, I got teeth.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it's like.
All right. So we've got a couple topics tonight. And, of course, everything is in the link down below. I've updated some of the stuff down below. Those itches. I've updated JoshGotBored's section since he now has been posting stuff on YouTube again. He's got his YouTube link down there now. So constantly all of our stories are from All 3DP, so courtesy of All 3DP. We've also got a story courtesy of military.com. It's actually an interesting story. Did you get a chance to read on that?
I did not.
Okay, well then I will let you pop that sucker up here in a minute and let you read on it to everybody. Hello, Cosmic Dumpster. Steve, how's everybody doing?
What's going on, guys? You said that to me.
I'll
on Twitter, or are you gonna put it in the chat?
I will toss it into chat so everyone can instantly jump to it if they want to go ahead and check it out themselves. The link is also in the description below for everybody.
Full disclaimer, though, you have to copy and paste into the URL. Whoa.
So let's close that down.
Okay, you want me to share my screen?
Yes.
Code for medical. What's going on, man?
All right. So I've not been able to 3D print anything for a while because my printers are all down. I've got to do some maintenance on, well, all of them. All right, so I'm going to pop this.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Hold on. I want to try something different here.
Okay. I know what you're trying.
Yeah. This is what I want.
Yep.
This is what I want. Okay.
All right.
Got it, I think.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Perfect. I can still see what's going on.
So Marine wins prize with 50-cent idea to salvage damaged radio headsets. I thought this was really cool. And actually, I saw this on one of the 3D printing groups on Facebook.
Instead of spending $52.50 to replace radio handsets with exposed screws, a shock hazard for the operator, Marines can now use a 3D printed clip that costs 50 cents, according to a service news release. I'm going to be honest. I can see the size of that clip, and it definitely doesn't look like it would cost 50 cents to print. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, I agree.
I mean, maybe military prices. I know for a fact. See, my dad, he used to work for the state prison, and sometimes he would tell me about how they would have to order things, and there were certain companies that they were restricted to that they could order from.
Yep.
And so they were only allowed to order from these specific companies, and so because they were only allowed to order from those companies, they could jack the prices up on stuff. Like a gallon of milk would cost like $8 or something crazy like that, because these companies were just like screwing the state out of all their money. And so maybe it's one of those military things where they have to order from specific companies or their 3D printers or like super high-tech fancy 3D printers, that maybe that's where they get this 50 cent a piece cost from, but it doesn't seem like it'd be that expensive. Anyways, Lance Corporal Frederick Sadler won first prize in first quarter Commanding General's Innovation Challenge, a Shark Tank style board where Marines and sailors can present ideas to improve their unit, the base, or the Marine Corps as a whole, for a simple design that keeps Marines from having to dispose of the damaged handsets. Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
it's not hard to just design something, especially when you've got a broken part for it. You can just go off of that and then just make it so it just snaps together.
And it looks like they're going to look at maybe possibly mass producing them, in which case they probably would they probably would make some sort of mold for it, right? An injection mold it.
I mean, they might just have it 3D printed on demand instead of injection molding it. But then here's a problem: if you got your headset going, most headsets it's ABS plastic. That is the most common use plastic for things that are always used because it holds up better. It's got that lasting durability. So that's the problem with stuff like that. You can test it with PLA, but you're going to have to print in ABS, especially if you're going to be out in the open to where it's going to be exposed to sunlight and different temperatures. ABS will hold it better.
Well, but I mean, ABS is used in injection molds too, though.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying, like, if you're just going to 3D print the entire thing, it's best to 3D print it in the ABS, which also gives you the problems of printing with ABS.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So
quick, simple little thing that solves a really big problem.
Oh yeah, it's super simple to just do that and not have to toss the headset. So yeah, it's kind of nice. So I thought that was a really cool story, and I wanted to share that you can take 3D printing and fix things in everyday life, even in military life. So
Code 4 Medical is saying that that's the same thing in medical, what I was talking about, where you're restricted to only being able to purchase from specific companies, and so they jack the prices up to screw you out of whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
Code 4 Medical. Don't know if you've joined us before.
Yeah, the name kind of sounds familiar, but
Familiar, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Of course, I've been tired this week, so. One Raz would say, "Where's my coffee?
Where's my coffee?
Where's my coffee at?" Right.
Well, I got something cool to show off.
All right.
You got a second? I have not done any 3D printing in probably 3 weeks.
It's been a while for me.
It's been a while. My printers are working. I've been busy with other things. Right now, school's at a point where I've got to really focus on lesson plans and getting stuff done. We're coming up on the wonderful standardized testing season. But I did, just a couple days ago, receive a nice little package in the mail. Alien 3D's UFO subscription box.
Yes.
The Valentine's Day edition. Very, very cool. February 2020. And so I kind of wanted to show you guys what came with it. So it came with a raspberry pearl PLA, which I don't know if you can really see the color, but it's kind of like a deep raspberry thing. Pretty cool. Oh, Code 4 Medical is my brother.
Ah, okay.
I didn't know that. So my brother's been on the stream before,
Yes.
I mean, in the comments and stuff. But that's a new account, so I didn't recognize it.
Well, I saw Steve Carroll in there, and I was just like, okay,
That's my dad. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was just like, I
He
can't.
was like, I'm gonna join for like 2 seconds, and then I'm probably gonna go to bed.
I can't remember which one's his dad and which one's his brother, but I was like, I know there's a Carroll
Yeah.
in there, so okay, well that makes sense.
This is a new Alien 3D filament.
Is that
Um,
gold?
it's Meteor Mind Copper Silk.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's a copper silk PLA. Really, really cool. The silk PLAs I've really been liking. Like, they are so pretty. I've heard that they're not the most structural, but PLA is so brittle anyways that I don't know that it really matters much. But absolutely gorgeous. Hatchbox pink. Nice, super bright pink there. The color saturation doesn't wash it out. And then it came with one Filatech green, but this is cool because it is, I don't know if you can see, focus, there it is, recycled hips.
Ooh.
So a hips filament, a polystyrene. I have never printed with hips before, and I'm curious about what some uses of this could be. So right now, my big focus, I don't know why this is such a big deal to me, but my big focus has been, there's going to be a fighting robot competition in my area and on April 18th, and I wanted to go and participate. And one thing that I got is last month's box came with some carbon fiber. And so I've been wanting to try out this carbon fiber PLA and use it in my combat robot, maybe print some gears and stuff. If only I knew someone that had a really good tutorial on how to make gears, you know?
If only.
If only. And so, so I've been thinking about that. And this weekend, I'm actually going out of town to, I live out in the middle of, Podunk areas. I live in the middle of nowhere, like literally the middle of nowhere. So I'm actually going to the main city, the big city, Phoenix, this weekend. We're going to go watch a little, my family's really into like wrestling, like pro wrestling kind of thing. So we're going to go watch this pro wrestling thing. And it turns out that at ASU in Tempe, there's going to be a robot fighting competition. And so we're going to go watch the smaller 3-pound robots fight. And while we're there, we're going to meet up with another buddy of mine who I'm actually thinking about having him on the show. I'm in contact with him, trying to get him to agree to it. But he goes by, well, I'll keep that secret. I won't say.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you've told me about this.
I won't say just yet, but he's gonna help me plan out and design my BattleBot. We're gonna make a 1-pound BattleBot, and hopefully in April I'll be able to figure it out. It also comes with a little power adapter and a custom little chip here. I'm not really sure what this chip is programmed to do, but I am gonna sure figure it out. But it looks really, really cool. The plans, he just barely posted the plans for what this week's project is, so I'm not really sure what it is just yet. I also got 2 3-inch speakers. It's all a mystery, you know what I mean? It's a mystery box, so it comes with all this stuff, and you're never really sure what is going to be in there. And then every month it also comes with a set of tools. And this month it came with a set of files that are great for cleaning up 3D prints. So
never go wrong with a little set of files like that.
Oh yeah. And then this is my favorite. Like anything that he can personalize, he does like whatever he can. So he actually, if I can get it to focus, he actually wrote my name. Sent me a little Valentine pack of Oreos. I'm not sure if he knows that I'm diabetic or not. I tried to give them to my son. He's like, nah, I don't want them. But yeah, so that's what I got in this month's box. I'm gonna have to look up the project and see what it is. But hopefully it'll be something really cool. Maybe next month I'll have something to actually show off in cool prints and not just be lame and show me the subscription box.
Yep. So I contacted Key Tech for customer service for my printer.
Because of your thermistor issue.
Yeah, thermistor board issue. Not quite sure what.
Did you get your Key Tech secondhand, or did you buy it like from the website?
It's secondhand.
But it was still brand new in the box, or no?
It was with the box. The guy had tried using it some, so they had said, well, maybe reach out to the guy who gave it to me and see so I can try to see, if it was under warranty. And I mean, I reached out to the guy, and the guy replied to me. He's like, I have no idea what that is. And I was like, that's all right. I figured it's not under warranty. I think it's like a 6-month warranty. So I was like, I'm pretty sure he had it a while before he posted it. So they suggested that, well, obviously they had me, try some stuff, which I had already tried. And they actually was really quick on replying. So I give them props to that for sure. They were super nice, which is always nice whenever you're dealing with customer service. They said, do this, and they actually sent pictures of different things on the board with numbers, and then down below showed what the number thing was, and it said the one that was highlighted, so down at the bottom where it said what it was, highlighted number was a 4 for the thermistor, said unplug this one, and check this, and then was it damaged here, which is at the little heater blocking thing, damaged with these 2 wires, like the white wire, which is to the heating element, and then the blue wire, which is to the thermistor. So so they did that, and then I sent him a picture of the damaged thermistor because it was messed up, and I said, well, it was touching itself. So they said, we suggest replacing the entire block itself with the thermistor, because it actually screws into it. To do that's $20 plus $9 shipping to get it 15 to 20 day shipping. If I wanted it in 3 to 5 day shipping, it is $26.
Oh my gosh!
And I was like, that's more than the part itself.
So $30 and 2 weeks to fix a cheap Chinese thermistor.
Well, and here's the thing: if it's not the thermistor and it's the board for it, then I'll have to get a new board for it. And then depending on how much the board's going to cost and then shipping, and then it's like I could get an MKS board and be done with it for $30.
Which is what you're paying for just the thermistor.
Pretty much. So I've not replied to them with, all this other stuff. So I'm sitting on it, debating on what I'm going to do with that. But I watched another video on setting up. So obviously, because you have an ANET, that ANET have dual Z-rods motors. The MKS Gen V board that I have has one port for the Z.
Ooh, so is there just like a simple splitter you can use for that, or?
I did do a splitter, but this video I was watching is a Gen L board he was doing it to, which, I mean, it's the same basis of doing it, it's just different gen. Takes the other motor and he's putting it onto the second extruder part for it instead. So I didn't finish watching the entire video because I was like at work and started kind of watching it. I was like,
right.
Okay, so
you got to do that, and then you just have to flash the firmware appropriately, right? So that.
Yeah, so he's just using regular Marlin firmware, not the TH3D that I have on there. So I'll have to use my Arduino to reflash it, because I tried to. So I need to wipe it with my Arduino and then reflash the Marlin firmware, because last time I tried to just reflash the firmware, it wasn't connecting to it, not working. And I was not sure why it was doing that. So I'll do that, kind of square that up and see if that fixes my problem. But also I was telling it to, so I got the little turn knob, telling it to go one way. I was like, turn it this way, wasn't doing anything, and then I turned it back the other way, Then all of a sudden it goes, "Meh." It would only go one way. It would only move right. It would only move right every time. So I'm like, all right, turn the knob. Turn the knob right. It doesn't move. Turn it left. It goes, "Meh, meh." So I got to square that away. And then my MBOT printer, I need to print MBOT. I just like the name. I like the name. It works. The printer itself, the extruder mount is plastic. Well, is all that's plastic. We all know how plastic works for that.
Yep.
Well, and the problem was, like, I sat there and looked at it. The holes, instead of being like that, they were offset like this. I'm like, that doesn't help at all.
Right.
So even with it drilled out, when I try to put the filament up with no Bowden tube and stuff, I have to take the Bowden tube out to even get it to fit up through there, and then put the Bowden tube back on.
It's just binding too much.
Yeah, it won't line up. It just doesn't work. So I need to replace that, and I mean that's $8 to $13 for that, which isn't bad. And I've looked up different things. I think I'm gonna get a different tube. I'm gonna get Capricorn tube. Get that going on it. I'm going to probably swap out to where I'm only going to have one extruder nozzle on there. We'll see how this works, but it just like jams up every time if I try multiple things on the printer.
Yeah. By the way, if there's any companies watching that would love to sponsor some of these projects, I'm just saying, Capricorn, you could send some tubing. That'd be a wonderful thing. You guys coming out with a new line, colored Capricorn tubing. You could obviously send some really cool blues or some orange, maybe. It'd be really sweet. I'm just saying, throwing it out there. Not sponsor yet.
But yeah, so yeah, totally take something. But yeah, I'm gonna get some stuff on there. I've got a E3D clone that I'm probably going to put on there. And so the annoying thing is with regular PTFE tube, so you take the threaded part at the top, then you get your nozzle part that screws in at the bottom that goes into your block. Where you put the PTFE tubing in there, the tube just like flops right. It doesn't set right. It's like putting an Allen key into like the wrong sized screw.
Oh, is it really loose like that?
It's loose, yeah. Like there's plenty of room like to move around. It doesn't set in there tight. But if I were to take Capricorn tubing, which has a bit of a thicker diameter on the outside, it actually sets in.
I thought Capricorn was slightly thinner.
Nope. It's more robust. So, because I use the PTFE tube that I got, and then the PTFE tube that came with the MBOT printer, and it does not fit well in it. But if I do the Capricorn tubing, it's nice and tight, fits perfectly. Which is the problem I'm having, is that doesn't set in there tight, and then when you've got that going in, and then it can just kind of move around, it's not going to have that line up. If
Right.
it moves around, it's going to kind of flop around, but then it's also going to separate.
That sounds to me like you just need to replace the entire hot end assembly.
Well, yeah.
Just throw that E3D V6 clone on there. Completely change it all up.
Well, the problem is, to do that, I need to print a part for it. Unless I have my friend print it for me, I can't. I
mean, I live really far away, but I'd print it for you.
Well, and I've got a friend that lives here that has a printer that could print it for me.
You telling me you have other friends besides me?
So.
All right. Big news. Most exciting thing to happen to me in a long time. All right. In the last year, definitely the most exciting thing to happen besides my child being born. Okay.
Yes.
But in the last year, super excited because in April, early April, I'm gonna go to a live taping of BattleBots. I got tickets. They sold tickets. They started selling tickets in on Valentine's Day. On Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day they started selling these tickets, and I was kind of hemming and hawing about it because I was like, I don't know if I want to do this because I mean I wanted to, but I didn't know if I could afford it, you know. And so I was looking at it. I pulled up the ticket prices. You know how much it costs to go watch BattleBots live? $10. Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
No. So, well, all right. Full disclosure. $10 gets you tickets that are right next to the tunnel. And you can't really see the arena from where those seats are. But they have like big screen TVs like right there in front of it, so you can still watch the fights. You just don't get to see it through the glass.
The glass.
But all right, so here's what I did, right? So we actually got tickets to go to 2 different tapings because they're 4-hour sessions. They film twice in one day. So they film from noon to 4, and then they film from 6 to 10.
Yeah.
And so we got $10 tickets from noon to 4 on that day. And then we also got tickets from the 6 to 10 taping. But these ones, we got the VIP tickets, which were about $65 a piece, which is a little more, but way less than I thought it was going to be. I legit thought I was going to be spending $200 on BattleBots tickets. And I was like, there's just no way I'm going to be able to afford this. $65, I mean, I'll eat rice and beans for a couple weeks. You know what I mean? Like, I'll make that happen. So we got VIP tickets, which mean not only do you get primo seats in the solid viewing area, but you also get to take a backstage tour of the pit area and meet like the drivers of the robots and stuff. So pretty excited. I didn't think that I was gonna go, and then I talked to my wife about it, and she was like, she told me she wasn't gonna go, and so I was thinking, well, it would just be me and my 6-year-old, and I don't know, it's a 9-hour drive from my house, and I was like, I just don't know if 9 hours by myself is gonna be worth it. So I go to my dad's house, and I was like, this is how much the tickets cost. This is what I was thinking. If you guys aren't going to go, then I'm just going to forget about it. I'm not going to try and plan this trip or anything. And my dad was like, when are we leaving? And my brother was like, I'm going to take an entire week off of work. Let's do this. So this is like been my dream for a long time to go watch BattleBots live. And then if my robot design and stuff takes off and I'm able to actually, you know, make up a video package and stuff, the idea is that in the future I'll actually be able to go on the real BattleBots. It's like, I mean, it's pipe dream, probably never gonna happen, but I mean, in my head I'm like, I know some people that were on BattleBots. I know a couple of guys that were on BattleBots last year, and one of my buddies, his robot got approved for BattleBots, but he wasn't able to go. And man. So he's working on trying to get approved again next year. So, I mean, it could happen. Maybe I could be on BattleBots, you know?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Like,
I know you're not as big a nerd on BattleBots as I am, Aaron.
Well, I used to back in the day. I was like full on nerding for BattleBots, and I just got so much stuff going on. Like, I would totally love to sit there and watch the master builders. I just don't have time.
Lego Masters?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, man.
Although, did you see the dress that she did for that?
Which one? She made 2.
This last one she did.
The one with the big rubies on it?
Yeah, that filament was beautiful. That color.
Yeah, have you seen that filament before?
No, I was
it's called so she custom made that filament, I think with Protopasta. I think she had a workshop and she custom made her own color, and she called it Blood of My Enemies Red.
It was a beautiful, like,
Oh yeah, it's
red.
super pretty.
Like
And then,
it looks so good.
and then there's another one. Have you seen the 3D printer? I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's called like the White Knight. The one that's like it's like on a like a treadmill kind of thing,
Yep.
a conveyor belt, so that it just continuously can print.
Yeah, I've actually thought about trying to see if he wanted to come on the show at some point in time and talk.
So I think it was him. He created his own filament color that was similar to that color, but it was called Knight's War Red, and it's another one that's really, really, really a pretty red.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was called Blood of My Enemies Red.
It looked fantastic. I liked it.
Really cool. No, super cool. And then we showed it on the stream last week. I think last week how she had actually 3D printed parts of her dress that she could actually snap Lego pieces on.
Yep.
She also 3D printed some sleeves for it that Welbot and I were helping her figure out, because when she was trying to print them, she was having a hard time converting the mesh to B-rep, and so
Yep, and that's
Welbot and I were making videos that's helping her.
at times that can be tough to figure out, because I've at times had to try to remember doing that, and I constantly have to do it because I don't do that a lot.
Oh yeah, I always have to look up a YouTube video every time I do that. But it was because she imported a mesh into Fusion 360, and then she duplicated it like 50 times, and so she had so many on there, and they were all just meshes, and so she had to go and convert it to a solid object, or else she couldn't print it. But I'm so excited, dude. Like, I'm gonna go with BattleBots, and that's been my dream since I was just a little tiny kid. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna be on the show. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be on the show, and they're gonna have. I'm probably not even gonna be featured. I won't even be on any of the TV. They're gonna show like the little blurb and be like, "And this robot got destroyed in 5 seconds," and then they're gonna move on, never mention me again.
That's all right.
But it'll be fun.
5 seconds of fame. Oh, I'm trying to look here real quick.
Have you looked up our hashtag to see if anybody's tagged anything? I tagged something.
I know you've tagged some stuff. Let's see.
I tagged something a few minutes ago. I saw something that was really cool.
Oh, where's my search? Saw you do that. Where's there? Okay. All right, AC show. Latest. All right, so it was on the top, which one of the top things is the Printabot stuff. Not Printabot, Printablock. My brain.
Printablock stuff. Yeah, can you believe it? Like, we've already hit, what, 7 stretch goals?
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. We're going to have so much stuff. I commented on, because he had posted that he wasn't sure what to do because he had made those little containers to put the little pieces in, but now we've hit so many stretch goals they don't fit in the containers. And so I commented that he should make it so where the containers like stack one on top of another, and then just have like a corner that's connected so that they swivel. So you just swivel out the tray, pull the pieces you want, swivel it back. You know what I mean? Like a little organizer thing, and then just be able to actually, maybe you could even use Printablock pieces to snap the trays together so that it was all one thing, you know?
Yeah, so
oh yeah, that's so cool, dude. Seriously.
Not what I want. That's what I want. There we go.
That's one. That's so sick.
It is a lithophane. And then 3-dimensional.
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
It's a 3D printed object of a two-dimensional picture that's meant to look 3D in the sunlight. It's like, it's amazing.
That is pretty cool.
It's so cool because all of that shading. Those of you who've never seen a lithophane before, basically it's something that you can either 3D print or you can cut out of wood or other materials. But essentially, what you do is with a 3D printer, anyways, you lay down plastic at certain thicknesses, and the thicker the plastic, the darker it's going to come out when you shine a light through it, right? Because there's less light getting through the object, and so you it has varying thicknesses, and when you hold it up to the light, it makes like a photorealistic image. And in that case, it just makes it look like a super cool 3D thing.
Oh yeah. So I saw this one that you did the other day.
Oh yeah, this is so cool, dude. So and they just said that this was a free model that anybody could download.
That is awesome.
And that is amazing. A little fold up R2D2, and then you can just cut some little thin pieces of filament or copper wire or something and stick it in there and attach them to the feet, and there you go. You got your little R2D2.
That is so cool.
That's sick, man. I need to download that. Seriously.
I know it.
That's something that I want. I want to print that for sure. That's awesome.
All right, 1 second. So, if anybody wants that file, just posted it in the chat, so it is accessible. All right, so a couple other topics to talk about. I think I'm just going to do this one here.
Oh, hey, can we just talk for a second about you hitting 230 subscribers, huh?
I know.
That's awesome, man. You're going to surpass me fast.
I was surprised because I was at 220 something, 222, 224, and then it just started jumping up this week.
You're at 231 right now, I just saw.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, awesome.
So I said on my phone, 231. I think last time I checked, I was at like 244. So I'm just
I checked. You were at 244 last I saw.
So I'm just barely ahead of you. So 246 right now. So
there you go. You jumped up too. There you go.
Give yourself another month. You're gonna pass me up.
I was just so surprised because I've not been posting videos lately. I've just been so busy that this is all I've been able to truly do.
Yeah,
did you?
I've enjoyed doing the AC show because it's helped me to come up with a little bit more regular content, but it's meant that I've been so busy I haven't had time to do any of the videos. I have a bunch of videos filmed.
Yeah.
I just haven't edited them together. And there's some videos that I haven't edited that I'm like, seriously, my thought was just like, should I just upload them raw? Just don't even edit them, just post them.
Yeah. So did you see what I did over the weekend?
Which thing? I was real busy. Well, okay. I went and played in the snow all weekend, but I was not on social media like at all weekend. So I did not see anything about anybody.
Let's see. Profile. Do I have it on Twitter? Should have it on Twitter. Yes. Share screen. Chrome window. Sure.
Oh, I did see that. I wish you would have taken a picture of your ladder up against the pole because it looks, from this angle, it looks like it would be terrifying.
Oh, it was kind of terrifying. So actually, my mom's got some video. I'll have her send me the video and I'll upload it to social media. So my light fixture out here, which is the original one. This is a mercury light bulb. And for those of you that don't know, those things suck electric power like crazy. And you can see it's during the daytime. The photon sensor, is it photon? The sensor starts with the P. I want to say photon.
Photo sensor.
The photo sensor is messed up. Doesn't work. Doesn't turn off anymore. So it had been running all the time. And to turn it off, I had to turn off the power to my office. So then I can't 3D print it. I wasn't able to 3D print anything if I turned it off or do anything out there. So I climbed up there. I had my dad bring a ladder because my ladder only goes up to 16 feet. I needed a 30-foot ladder. So we had it planted here.
30 foot? Is that how tall it is?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
So then we ratcheted it down below by that bird nest. Then I climbed up, and every step it shook.
Is it sliding back and forth on the pole?
Yeah. Well, the pole was wobbling some, but yeah, it was sliding. So I got up about 5 feet below the light itself, and then I ratcheted it again to it, and it was much, much better after that. But the funny thing was, this is a glass around the bulb itself. So, instead of just shining directly down, it kind of faded out like that. Well, my new one doesn't fade out. Just direct and stops.
Yeah, see, lights like that in my area are against the law.
Really? Like the one like I have up?
Yeah, it's too bright. So
Oh no, it's not that bright. I have a night mode on my phone, so it makes it look brighter. It's not that bright.
See, all of the lights, the outdoor lights in my area have to have a yellow tint to them.
Yeah.
Because of the observatory.
I can see that.
Too much light pollution. And so like all the street lamps and stuff, it's actually really freaky when you're driving down the road and the light turns yellow. You can't tell that the light turned yellow. Like it's like the light just disappears because it turns yellow and it blends in with all the street lights. And so you don't notice that the light has changed. So if you don't catch it when it changes, like you're liable to run a red light. It's really freaky.
Interesting.
Because the yellow light matches exactly the street lights around it. And so like during the daytime, the light turns yellow, it catches your eye because it was a color change. But during the nighttime, the light turns yellow and it just looks like your normal road. So
yeah. All right, I got another story. I'm not going to do the other one I had up, but this one I will do. Let's share my screen.
Oh, yeah.
10 beautifully 3D printed instruments. I mean, but look
at some of these are a little ridiculous. Like, let's be honest.
Oh,
what crap is that?
That's a violin.
It's a 2-string violin. So, like, it's not even a fully functional violin.
No, I know, but just look at that.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
It looks
it's
awesome.
Gorgeous. It looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. But practicality, is it a real instrument? Kind of, I guess. I mean, what's up, Eddie? How you doing, man?
Hey, Eddie.
And the 3D printed guitar, what's 3D printed? Is it the head, or is it the neck, or is it the body?
The actual body part is
the body
3D printed on.
Does this say acoustic?
It does say acoustic, but
is that an acoustic guitar? It looks like an electric guitar. Am I crazy? Maybe I just
no. That's an electric guitar.
Okay.
Because it's got the knobs and it's shaped like and thick like an actual electric.
If it makes musical notes, it is an instrument. Well, I mean, let me tell you, Eddie, sometimes I rip them and sometimes they play a nice little melody. I don't know that I would call my behind an instrument, though. I mean, but that violin, I mean, it's gorgeous, but I don't think that you can call it a violin. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely appealing to the eye. And now you get the 3D printed recorders.
That's cool, I guess. It makes me want to play. What's that song? My Heart Will Go On. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That's what I want to play. Yeah.
And 3D printed ocarina. And this is only I think this is a 4, is it 6? Do they say? No.
It's probably got 2 holes on the bottom.
Probably has the 2 holes, so it's probably a 6 hole.
I've printed what looks like that ocarina.
And
I haven't been able to get it to play any notes. Maybe it was just a bad print or something. But I couldn't get it to work very well. It prints in 2 halves, and then you glue it together. And I really struggled trying to get it to actually make any noise. You have to like plug up all the holes and blow really, really softly to get anything to come out of it. But I've seen some better, nicer ones that print all as one piece.
And actually, that's all I've done. And whenever I printed the ocarina, I print them all in one piece.
Yeah, but that one you can see the seam kind of going down the middle.
Yeah.
But it could be
I thought of you when I saw this, Chris.
Dude, I love that. Honestly, like when I saw that, I was like, that's the coolest thing. I want to make one. And I'm curious if I am curious about how it attaches to the head. If it attaches, blame the print. If it attaches to the head, if the tuning screws, when they attach to the head, I'm curious if those are 3D printed pieces or if you just purchase the tuning forks or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Separately. For those of you guys that don't know, I do play the ukulele. I play the ukulele. I also play the guitar. I'm not great at either of them, but I do like basic pop rhythm guitar. And if you've ever seen videos on my channel, I usually post a little intro theme song that I wrote, and I play and sing it and stuff. All my kids at school, they think it's hilarious to watch me. Yeah.
This one I found interesting. A 3D printed saxophone.
That's really interesting. How many pieces is it?
All right. I'm not sure. I'm actually going to reshare this again. But I'm only doing it so I can add audio so everyone can hear it. Look. Joe telling.
What's
Bob,
up, Joe?
and Bob.
Bob, we need to get Joel on the show.
No. All right.
And the trombone, yeah. Well, I'll say it doesn't sound great.
It's not bad.
But it's amazing that it was 3D printed. That's pretty sweet.
I mean, obviously the mouthpiece is not 3D printed, but
right. It sounds terrible, but for a 3D printed instrument, that's pretty good. The mouth harp thing was a little weird.
I've not actually watched
trombone with the best of them. I played trombone when I was in like 4th grade.
Great. So I have a app that.
It makes me think of something down under.
Like a didgeridoo.
Yeah.
A kazoo. See, I wanted to 3D print. I was gonna 3D print the mouth harp and and mess with it on the show, but I couldn't figure out how it works. So
yeah,
the trumpet, that's pretty sweet.
It is pretty cool. 17 parts for the trumpet.
That's not that bad. I mean, we're talking about a full-on instrument, though.
Well, compared to the saxophone, which had to be, I don't know how many parts of that.
I wonder how many, man. I wonder. I actually have a croaking frog, not one that I 3D printed. I actually got one that was hand carved in the Amazon rainforest. I got it like legit from Brazil, hand carved Amazon miracle.
Yep.
Jaw harps. Michael Cassell, how you doing, buddy? Jaw, is that that little bling 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 bling? I always thought a mouth harp was a harmonica. I thought they called harmonicas mouth harps. But
I don't know.
I'm super into music, and so 3D printed musical instruments, that's pretty cool. And I think that like a guitar or a ukulele, a string instrument really lends itself towards 3D printing because it's the string, the vibration from the string that make the noise. And then it's just however much space you give it to reverberate, that's what changes kind of the tone and stuff and how clear it is. So it's a little bit different from like the saxophone. Your space has to be really, really smooth on the inside, right, to get that nice, clean, pure sound. Whereas like a guitar or a ukulele, it just is about how much space you have, not necessarily how clean that space is.
Yep.
I thought Peter was followed by a sousaphone. Oh, you guys are talking about Family Guy. I'm not a huge Family Guy fan, honestly. I thought mouth harp was my high school girlfriend. Wait, was carp? Mouth carp? Like a fish? Did you date a fish, Eddie? Listen, Eddie, if it didn't work out, there's plenty of other fish in the sea, okay?
Well, fish in the rivers and in the ponds, because carps are not in the sea.
You are a nerd.
I'm a outdoor nerd. I should know this.
Oh, Code 4 Medical just flatlined.
It's just rolling.
Oh, he said. So Michael says mouth harp is a harmonica. A jaw harp or a juice harp is the forked spring, the thing that a bling 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 bling.
Gotcha.
Have to I'll have to do a little more research on those, I guess, because it was not my favorite one. It was yeah. But interesting that those instruments work. You know what I mean? That you're able to print something like that. It actually works.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah. No, I've printed 2 ocarinas that I've refinished and given away as gifts, and they play fantastic. I print them obviously upright, and the way I print them is the little mouthpiece for it as closest to the bed as possible. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it just means you're using less support material if you do it that way. But yeah, I refinish it. So the last one I did and gave away was around Christmas time last year. So,
well, the file that I found for that was one that I found on Thingiverse, and we're talking about the flute, right?
I'm talking about the ocarina.
The ocarina, the one that definitely resembles a Legend of Zelda ocarina. So the file that I found, when it was sliced, when they uploaded it as this little teeny tiny thing, and you had to like blow it up to like 1,000% to get it to the right size. And so, I mean, there's a lot of factors that could have been why my ocarina never worked. But I don't know. I just never really had the motivation to print another one. There's a lot of stuff I should print. Over the summer, I'm going to print a whole bunch of musical instruments and make a whole 3D printed band.
There you go.
Ooh, I could 3D print a bunch of instruments and play different parts and then edit them all together to make like one song with all of them.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
And that is a good idea. All right. So last week at the end, I was talking about kind of doing a contest for people. So the contest will be involving this hat and my cricket. So for those of you who can design, can't design, if you got a friend who can do something, we'll do something for free for you. So design AC show logo to print and put on the hat. And the winner will get a hat with a logo on it sent to them. Of course, US only, because that would cost me a lot to ship out.
Yeah, that'll actually be really cool. So if any of you guys have any experience in designing, Photoshop, that kind of stuff, we're really looking for a super cool image to put that represent like a logo that represents the AC show. It's become kind of a, I mean, for us, it's a big thing. We've been doing it. How many weeks now? What is this episode?
This is episode 22.
Episode 22, and so we've been doing it for a while, and it's really become something that we enjoy doing. It's a lot of fun. We'd like to have a nice, cool logo that kind of represents how cool the AC show is. And so, if you guys have any experience, then we really would like to see what you come up with. And whoever has the coolest design that we pick, then we'll send you a hat with that logo.
And I guess we can do a second runner-up, and I could probably do some stickers then for them.
There you go, some stickers with the logo, and we can send those out too.
Yeah. So cool. you can kind of go off of our AC show logo that I have tossed up there for the shows. You kind of see whenever you go to click into it. And that's just something I came up with, just going through trying to make something for it. You can go off of that, just create something completely different. You could use our handsome faces for it, you know, cartoon us, whatever you want to do. You know,
I have a picture of Thick Thon on computer. Dang it!
You could do kind of like heat miser, snow miser thing with our faces. You know, it is the AC show. Got hot and cold.
It's all a matter of who's hotter and who's cooler.
So yeah, so I thought it'd be kind of
give them a nice little freeze frame that they can screenshot, Aaron.
Right.
Oh yeah, there you go. There. All right. What else we got, Aaron?
That was it. I was gonna do something about 3D printing shoes, but there's just like a bunch of different things tossed in there.
Have you seen that video by RC Life on?
Yes.
He did that. I don't know. Was that maybe a year ago or so?
I think so.
Somebody came out with a model for 3D printable shoes, and they were customizable to your foot size, I think. And so he 3D printed a pair of shoes in flexible filaments, and then he went out for a run to see how they performed. And he was like, they're terrible, but they're really good for 3D printed shoes.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. RC Life on videos. I can never remember his channel sometimes on what it's called. I know it's RC.
Yeah, RC Life on Simon.
Let's see. And obviously it was last year. All right, so it says a year ago. So yeah. So yeah, all it says is a year ago. It's about.
If you click the down arrow and that to pull down the video description, it'll tell you what day it was published.
Let me click on September 13th, 2018. So 2 years ago.
Almost 2 years ago. And then Joel went to, like, was it at IRF or something where they had the 3D printed shoes? He tried them out for a while and they had a few issues. But moving in the right direction. 3D printed shoes, man. The wave of the future.
Yeah, so I'll I'll go and try to pop that up real quick because I mean there was one thing I thought was pretty cool, and I mean I had closed that out because I was like, there's so many things, but I just remembered on one of the stories that I wanted to somewhat go off of. And come on, load. Like there it goes. Because I feel like this is gonna do what your computer was doing. Take forever to load. All right, so if I pop up, share my screen. What? That there. So these are the types of shoes that you talk about for Joel Telling, the ones that he.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. I thought this was kind of an interesting thing. Does not look comfy at all.
Not at all. But I remember going to a shoe store once, and there was this lady in line behind me. She's like, these shoes hurt my feet, and I hate them, but they're so pretty. I'm going to buy them. And I'm like, why? If they don't fit you, if they're not comfortable, why would you buy them?
So the big thing is the companies. Nike is doing a lightweight 3D printed flexible shoe, which the soles is what's printed on it. But they're not the only ones. Reebok is doing the same thing. I mean, but look at this. It's like a track shoe.
It makes you wonder if they just kind of grabbed some stock images, because these are like news stories, right? Like, I doubt that is actually what the shoe looks like. They probably just grabbed a stock image. Oh, was it an insole? A 3D printed insole?
Yeah, that's a support, looks like, yeah.
Now, that's something that I could really see being an interesting thing, because you could 3D print an insole that's custom to your foot so that no matter what pair of shoes you buy, it actually matches your foot. I struggle with that because I'm really picky with my shoes, and if they don't fit my feet, I don't buy them.
Yeah, so yeah, that looks like
I could sell. I have to have custom insoles done for my feet since I'm diabetic. I am also diabetic. I don't have to have custom insoles yet, but I could definitely see a custom insole being a thing. My dad has neuropathy in his feet, can't feel anything from mid shin down, and he has to have custom insoles molded for his feet. His shoes cost him like something crazy, like $600 or more. His shoes cost him because he has to get these custom things.
Yep.
So being able to 3D print a custom thing, and a few years ago, I don't know if this happened where you guys live, but I remember seeing this thing, and I thought it was disgusting at the time. But in the local Walmart, they used to have, Dr. Scholl's used to have these little stations where you take your shoes off.
You stand there? Yep.
Yeah, you take your shoes off, you stand on it, it tells you what kind of support you need or whatever.
That never worked for me. It never worked.
No. What I'm saying is, what if you had something similar to that, but it would like scan your foot or something like that? So then it would generate like an STL that you could 3D print your own insole.
Oh, yeah.
That would be sweet. Because that would save so much money. I wouldn't have to worry about, I mean, seriously, it takes me like 2 hours to buy a pair of shoes because I got to try on every single pair until I find one that actually fits my foot, because there's 50 different things.
Yep.
I have neuropathy and an ulcer on the bottom of my right foot. My dad has neuropathy, and he used to have an ulcer really bad on his right foot. They actually, crazy story, they actually almost had to amputate his leg, but due to huge miracle, I don't know, I mean, I believe in God, and it was, to me, huge miracle, but his foot just like magically healed up. They had this really big surgery where they had to actually pin his through his heel. They had to fuse his ankle. They just drove this big giant pin all the way through his foot and all the way up like into his shin, and it took a long time to heal. But they almost had to amputate his foot because he kept getting this infection and these ulcers just wouldn't go away. And then one day it just healed. It was magic.
That's nice.
He went in to have surgery, and they said, we're gonna open it up, and if there's infection in there, then we're probably just gonna schedule to amputate. And they opened it up. I mean, it was bright red. It was hurting him. I mean, it was full of infection. They opened it up, looked inside, and said, infection's gone. I mean, one day to the next, the infection just like magically disappeared. So super cool.
So New Balance is
$600.
Yeah, oh my gosh. So New Balance has jumped on the train too. I mean, it's just like they're all jumping in there for the soles kind of deal, which is just an interesting thing that they're all doing that.
Well, because 3D printing the sole, you could customize a shoe for a specific person, and I think that's kind of where they're headed with it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
Michael, man, let me tell you, I feel for you, buddy. I really do. I have been there. Well, I mean, I haven't personally been there. Thank goodness, not yet. I am diabetic. I was just diagnosed a couple of years ago, and so I'm not looking forward to future problems that I might go under. But my dad's been there, and I've had to, I've been right there with him, watching him go through it, and I have seen your struggle, buddy, and so. Trust me when I say my prayers are with you, and I hope that something changes and that you can get better.
Yeah.
Totally with you.
Do you want me to pop your screen up that this has been set there, or do you want me to just take that off?
I don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
I don't know what it is. What is it? I don't think I have any.
Okay, that must be the same story then.
Oh, that's that article.
Okay.
That we were about the Marines fixing the headsets.
Yeah, because I had closed it out and it took it away, and then it like popped back up. I didn't know if you had shared something again. So it's kind of.
I was just I was pulling up the outro music.
That's right.
So that if you're ready to.
I am ready.
To finish it up, then we could.
Oh yeah, it's been an hour and 8 minutes that we've been live. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. Next week we'll be on his channel, and we will be holding this contest for. I'm not sure how long we will let it go.
I think maybe next week we can show some of the entries, remind people that it's going, and maybe we can do it for. I don't know, a couple of weeks.
Yep. Yeah, I figured a couple of weeks. People want to do it. They jump right on that. And tag it under the AC Show hashtag. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah, it's hashtag #A_C show. So if you guys tag anything that you think is really cool, or if you guys happen to make a logo for our show that you want to enter our contest, tag it with the hashtag #A_C show, and we'll try and feature it on the show next week. If you guys have any really cool things that you 3D print, or things that you see other people 3D print, or things that you've made in general, even if it's not related to 3D printing, if it's something cool, tag it with the hashtag #A_C show. We do a lot of stuff on Twitter. We both have Facebook accounts, but we don't generally check them for this particular purpose. But if you tag it on Facebook next week, we will look at it. So major social media platforms, tag it with the hashtag #A_C show. We'll check it out. And if we think it's cool, we will put it on the stream next week. So look forward to seeing what you guys come up with.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I've already got a guest lined up for next week's show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You have to tell me all about it after the stream.
I will tell you backstage. Yes, for sure. So again, thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's definitely a pleasure doing this and getting to talk to you guys and just kind of show things that's in 3D printing community, like the little headset piece that's that's been 3D printed for the military that someone was nerdy enough to go, hey, I can make that, make it cheaper.
Right.
So we like to encourage people to create and just imagine. So till then, everybody, thank you so much from myself and Chris. And until then, we will catch you next time.
We'll see you guys.
Live long and prosper. Bye, everybody.